Hi everyone, it's Bricks on Bricks here, and today I will be starting a new series on the channel where I will be reviewing every single Ninjago episode, and in this video I'll be starting with the premiere of Ninjago Season 1 entitled Rise of the Snakes. And how I will set up this review is that first I'll give a synopsis of the episode, because I feel like if I went through the entire plot of the episode this review would be way too lengthy. And then after I do that, I'll be talking about the pros of the episode, the cons of it, and then I'll be giving the episode a final verdict and score out of 10. So without further ado, let's get straight into this episode review. So getting into the synopsis from the Ninjago wiki, here it is. We have the four ninja are snapped out of their post-hero complacency when Lord Garmadon's young son Lloyd shows up and tries to follow in his father's footsteps. The ninja dismiss him as a threat, but regret that choice after Lloyd wakes up the evil snake tribe Hypnobrai. A prophecy is revealed that states a green ninja will ultimately defeat Lord Garmadon. So that's the synopsis. Now let's get into my pros for this episode. So getting into my pros for this episode, overall I do have quite a few. First off, this episode was a great introduction for the season as a whole. It introduced the green ninja concept well, which would be elaborated on later in the season. And it also really did introduce the Serpentine as the antagonist pretty well as well. I also do think that, the Green Ninja tournament that the ninja had to see, who was going to be the Green Ninja, that was a very fun sequence, and I really enjoyed watching it. I also think, that the banter between the characters throughout this episode was pretty fun to see as well. And overall, those would be my pros for this episode, but I do also have some cons for it as well. So getting into my cons for this episode, first off, young Lloyd is pretty darn annoying in this episode. I really don't like, the scene where he just begs for candy. That was pretty annoying as a whole. And I also don't like how easily he takes over the Hypnobrai tribe, by just basically making the general hypnotize himself. That's pretty stupid in my personal opinion. And another thing I didn't really like about this episode, which wasn't really a bad aspect, but more of a mixed aspect, was that the episode is slightly dated. It hasn't aged horribly, but it really hasn't aged the best. But that's really neither here nor there. But yeah, those are my few cons for this episode. So now let's get into my final verdict. So getting into my final verdict, overall I thought this was a pretty average episode. There's lots of great aspects here, and I really like, the prophecy of the Green Ninja being introduced, and lots of the other plot elements for the season being introduced. That was done really well. But young Lloyd and all of his cringy dialogue really takes away from some of these pros in my personal opinion. And for that, I think that my score out of 10 will probably have to be a 6.75 out of 10. So let's go ahead and get into the outro. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed my review on the first episode of Ninjago Season 1 Rise of the Snakes. And stay tuned for future videos that I upload.